Good evening and welcome to Sporlitiks, where sports and politics mix and mingle since 2011. I'm Stacey Johnson, and it looks like I am going solo tonight. I don't know where everyone is, so happy Cinco de Mayo, right? Well, the Supreme Court's Voting Rights Act decision was a shocker to many Americans. We'll talk about that. Stephen and NASCAR if he comes on, but I do have a NASCAR story that I think is very interesting that you may want to hear about. Secretary Rubio says Operation Epic Fury is over. Transgender Americans cannot go out of the country. We talked about this a little bit last week, but I want to touch on it again this week because I don't think it got the spotlight that it should have. The Sixers win the series against the Celtics. Amazing. I mean, I just can't believe it. I'm very happy about it. I'm surprised, actually. Embiid did a really, really good job. The polls are now closed in Indiana. There are elections, primary elections going on in Ohio and in Indiana and in Michigan. The Flyers win the series against the Penguins, which is totally unheard of. Usually when the Flyers play the Penguins during the regular season, we win games. The Flyers beat the Penguins. But in the series, when we have to play them like 5 games in a series, it seems as though over the last 2 decades, we've always lost the series. But this time we won it, which is just unbelievably great. And Philadelphia fans and fans all over the world that are Flyer fans are very excited. What else? The Iranian war, I said that the Supreme Court Comey case, they indicted him again, and more if we can fit it in. First up, let's go to a kind of sad story about deceased NASCAR veteran Greg Biffle. Let me play that.
The plane crash that killed Hall of Fame NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, along with his wife and kids, authorities say someone was trying to break into his accounts and steal his money. Now police have a sense of who it was. And your senior national correspondent, Mark Strassman.
This horrific private plane crash in North Carolina last December shocked NASCAR country. All 7 people aboard were killed, including veteran NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, his wife Christina, and their 2 children. Within hours, someone began targeting the family's checking accounts.
It's a very complex case with a lot of different tentacles.
Any doubt in your mind that this is an inside job?
I do think it was somebody that's close to the family or has a strong connection to the family.
In search warrants obtained by CBS affiliate WBTV, police describe a strategic and coordinated strike against all accounts that led to hundreds of thousands of dollars being stolen. Police believe multiple conspirators had access to the Biffle family's assets, email, and security details such as passwords and social security numbers. It gets worse. This is home surveillance footage from January, about 3 weeks after the plane crash. It shows what appears to be a hooded female walking for hours throughout the Biffle residence. The search warrant says more than $40,000 in cash, firearms, and memorabilia was stolen.
Any doubt in your mind that the burglary and the fraud are connected?
No, there's not a doubt. I believe that the burglary was just a small part of this.
Since the deadly plane crash, police have issued multiple search warrants, but so far, no arrests.
Tony, Sheriff Campbell told us that his detectives are waiting for more evidence, digital information sought by those search warrants, but he sure sounded confident that arrests are coming. Tony?
All right, Mark, thank you very much.
All right, that's a horrible story. First off, when Greg Biffle, he was piloting the aircraft. he and his family were going off, and it was very, very horrible and very sad that they lost their lives along with some friends. So to hear that
Right.
people would, you know,
Terrible.
go and steal from their bank accounts and also go in their home, you know, and steal memorabilia and other items that are worth $40,000 was outrageous. Stephen, did you want to talk to that? And then also, then you can talk about last week in NASCAR. But I thought that was a horrible story that we need to say it was, you know, we need to discuss.
It is a very horrible story, and I think this woman is really, really, really dumb because cameras are everywhere, and she didn't cover up her face enough, and they're going to find her, and everything's going to come, you know, what it should be, and they're going to throw the book at her so hard because, you know, it's common as can be, but it is really, you're right, it is really, really sad. And on a better note, this week they were racing at Texas. And that was a great race, and it was really, really hot. It was stupid hot. It's like 80 some degrees, and in the car it can be like 120, 130 degrees. But one of the favorites of NASCAR for all time is Bill Elliott. His son Chase Elliott, he won the race. It's the second race he won this year, so he's in the mix. And Denny Hamlin, who is part owner of a team with Kyle Reddick and Bubba Wallace, he finished second, and that's pretty good. He's having a great year. I really thought he was going to win. My guy finished fourth, and I needed a top three, so I'm not going to talk about that too much. But next week is a race I don't miss. It's one of the best. It's up north of New York way. It's Watkins Glen. It's a great race. It's an awesome race. And I love the road courses and that SVG, Shane Van Ginsbagalago, whatever his name is. We just call him SVG. He is the king of road courses. And if he's starting anywhere near the top, even top 10, you really have to pick him for the win. I forget how many he won last year, maybe five road courses. So he's a definite pick. He's going to be the number one guy to go after. And there's also a couple ringers that'll come in and be, you know, they'll be pretty good as well. Allmendinger, you know, you can get them for top 5, top 10. But I wouldn't take him for a win because this guy, he's just got it nailed to the wall. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anybody dominate a certain kind of track like that in my life. So he's really a special guy. He's good. You know, he came from a different style of racing, like Formula One or FS1, whatever it is. But I can't remember. But he's really, really dialed in, and these cars are just perfect for him. And he drives that car like nobody's ever. He does it like a slingshot when he goes around a corner, and nobody else can keep up with him. So if you want to see something interesting, Watkins Glen on Mother's Day, probably around 3 or 4 o'clock.
Okay, sounds good. I just want to say a lot of people have been looking at our video on TikTok, where you talked about Hocevar not making any friends. One person said Chicago Polish, 78 said Love CH, and then they said you had a lot of people comment on Bubba Wallace screwed up.
Yeah,
race.
He did the week before. Yeah.
It says, why is he at fault? Y'all tried everything to not say what y'all really want to say. I said, what do you think Steven wants to say? And they said, don't even focus on Steven. Focus on the comments on all the other viral posts. That's the point.
Oh. Well,
And
I mean, if everybody feels the same way, maybe everybody's right.
I said, what? Why? And he said, I have to say any more than that. I'm wasting my time.
No, he probably wants to make a racial thing out of it. It's not a racial thing. It's just Bubba really screwed up. And sometimes people really screwed up. That was Talladega the week before this last race. He took out over half the field. And everybody's upset about it. It was his fault. He didn't mean to do it, but he did. I mean, these guys are going like 200 miles an hour. He made an error, and nobody really faults him for it. It's just like, gosh darn, man, you really did screw everything up. And people take racing seriously. It could have been Chase Elliott that just won. If he had taken over half the field out on something that he did that was kind of silly, then everybody'd be talking about him. But everybody's always really quick to jump on race when it's not really there. I mean, he's part of a great team. He's got a great opportunity. He's doing good. He finished 9th this week at Texas. He's doing well this year. He's got a chance to win a championship. So it's not being disparaging against him for a mistake he made, but it was a big mistake, and it hurt a lot of people.
So
that's
what's
all.
happening next week in NASCAR?
Oh, we got Watkins Glen, the road course.
Yeah, you did say Watkins. That's New York. I'm sorry.
And it's a road course. It's gonna be great. And I said SVG, Shane Van Ginsburg, or whatever his name is. He is excellent. He's not a traditional NASCAR driver, but he came from a different style of car, and he can take these cars and make it his own ride and make it perfect. So I'm betting on him. I'm betting on him big. Even if he starts last, I'm still going to bet him to maybe get a top 5, because he is the king of road courses. And host of ours, if we go back to him, Dale Earnhardt Sr. was number 3, and he was my favorite driver for decades. He ended up getting killed at Daytona. But this host of ours is a lot like him, and he's not making any friends, but he is racing hard. He's racing, pushing the limits, and not going over the line, but dancing on the line, same way Earnhardt did. He had a lot of detractors, but the people who loved him, and this guy coming up is a lot like him, and he's got a great skills as well. And he's got a following. Like somebody said, CH, they love CH. Yeah, he's getting a really big following, and that's what NASCAR needs, because these drivers have to stand out in different ways, and this guy stands out because he is amazing, and he has no fear. So
Little Country Little Hood said, don't focus on Steven, focus on the comments on all the other viral posts. That's the point. So what were all the comments on the other viral posts? Because I didn't see it. Do you know what they were about Bubba Wallace growing up?
I'm not sure what they were, but I can assume, since this person, reading between the lines, what they're saying is, and they didn't want to say anymore, was it was probably a kind of a racist thing, saying Bubba can't drive, Bubba can't do this. Maybe it was something that's negative against him, because why is he even out here? Something like that's all I can assume, because I didn't see any of that.
Right.
Either, I'm not looking for anything negative like that. So, but that's what I can assume, that it was that people have been really harsh on Bubba, and they're going after him that way. I'm not really sure though. But if I read between the lines, that's what I think that person's saying.
All right, we're gonna move right on our sports journey to a very popular and exciting game for me.
Time in franchise history, the Philadelphia 76ers have come back from 3-1 down.
Overnight in Boston, the underdog Sixers walked into TD Garden and walked out with one of the franchise's most dramatic Game 7 wins ever.
Tyrese is taking over.
Seeded Celtics 109-100. Philly didn't just win the game.
PG turning back the clock.
They won the series after trailing 3-1, rallying to take 3 straight must-win matchups, something the Sixers had never done before in their playoff history. The shock started even before tip-off, when Boston ruled out superstar Jason Tatum less than 2 hours before the game with a left knee issue. But on this night, it was Philly stars who rose to the moment. Joel Embiid played like a man done with early exits. 34 points, 12 boards, 6 assists, bullying his way to the rim and picking apart double teams to keep the Sixers in control all night.
Goes for the contact, has a chance for 3.
Tyrese Maxey, fearless. 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists, hitting clutch shots as Boston tries desperately to claw back. Rookie VJ Edgecombe pouring in 23 points, giving Philly that extra scoring punch the Celtics never got. Boston, meanwhile, just cannot buy a 3. The Celtics go 13 for 49 from deep, ice cold for a third straight game, as Jaylen Brown's 33 and Derek White's 26 weren't enough.
You got to make shots.
Now, the 76ers complete just the 14th 3-1 comeback in NBA history and their only second ever Game 7 win on the road, both of them in Boston. Now, next up, Embiid, Maxey, and the Sixers head right up the street to Madison Square Garden. Game 1 against the Knicks set for Monday in New York. And the East, all I got to say right now is go New York, go New York, go! Go New York! New York, go.
Wait, I have a question.
Let's go, baby.
I love
We
this
ready?
New York energy as a
I don't know.
Nobody wanted to hear him talking about. Nobody wanted to hear him talking about go New York. I want to say go Philly, go Philly, go. Go
Right.
Philly, go Philly.
That
Go.
was amazing. That was amazing, Stacey. That was great. That was unbelievable. And because they were played that well, they did so well. I don't think you're gonna have any trouble with the Knicks. What do you
Well,
think?
we already lost yesterday. We lost the one game to the Knicks yesterday, and
You're not gonna sweep them. You're not
Yeah.
gonna sweep them.
right, we wouldn't sweep them. But for Philadelphia to beat the Celtics, now you have to think about the Celtics.
Right.
Good team. They did. Remember, they had Ime Nduko was the coach, and then he had that big controversy, and then he left, and then the assistant coach took over, and he did a really good job with the continuity. And Boston is an incredible team. However, for us as Philadelphia Sixers to come back from a deficit and to win in Boston is like reminds me of the old days that I read about with Dr. J and Moses Malone and Maurice Cheeks and Andrew Toney and all those guys. You know what I mean? When they were going up against Kevin McHale and Bird and Parrish. So, you know, that just and Maxey was a beast. Maxey was a beast. And, you know, it's a shame because just last week I was talking about Embiid. I was like, I was really sorry that Embiid had to go through that appendix surgery. I feel really bad for him, but he had to leave Philly. He really played a really good game for Philadelphia. He really showed why they have given him all the money they have given him year after year, injury after injury, disappointment after disappointment, loss after loss. You know, he showed that, okay, I heard you and I'm going to come through for my teammates. And, you know, that just shows the power, the power and the power of a player who wants to win if he has, you know, his teammates cooperating. Did you want to?
Right. And everybody else was on fire. Everybody was on fire. What they man got 33 and other one got 26. They're playing their hearts out.
And, you know, this is the type of NBA game you like to see. It's a shame that you have to wait until playoff seasons to see it.
Yeah.
Season because they kind of play really, really sloppy and lazy during the regular season. That's why I really watch college basketball, because you see the type of action you see in the NBA playoffs in college basketball. And this game, you know, they should show the highlights from that Celtics Sixers game. You know, that's how they should be playing. That was an incredible game.
Yeah, they were playing for their lives. It looked like if they lose, everybody gets killed. You know, everybody gets hung at the end of the game. So no, they were playing hard. They played like a minute. But you know, during the year, a lot of games that are not so, you know, you don't have to worry about them so much because you got baseball, you got so many games, you got basketball, so many games. But it's the real deal when you get to the playoffs. So I think maybe in the future, maybe there'll be a few less games in some sports like the NFL. Every game matters. Maybe there'll be a few less games to get all these games that are not that exciting. But they can't because they want to make money. So that's not going to change. If anything, they're going to add games. So.
Right. So let's move on to our next exciting event for Philadelphia.
From South Philly to South Jersey.
Go Sixers. Let's go.
Fans were on fire. Sunday morning breakfast with a side of Sixers pride.
Absolutely epic comeback. So excited.
The Philly diner in Runnymede says from the Sixers to the Flyers, the playoffs have been paying off.
It's been very busy. People are happy. Depending on how many jerseys we put the sound system on Flyers or Sixers. But we have everything on.
Over the bridge, the team at Stateside Live has been loving the playoffs too. They have a partnership with the Flyers for all away games.
And we try to replicate that same energy you have at Xfinity Mobile Arena right here at Stateside Live. So the away games have been a blast.
This crowd today was packed with Broad Street runners who carried that Sixers excitement for all 10 miles and then some.
I wore this because they worked last night, so I worked today for them, you know?
Riding the high of beating the Celtics in the playoffs. The last time that happened was
1982. It's been a long time.
Wow.
In my lifetime. My heart was racing. I kind of almost had tears. It was very intense.
Both the Flyers and the Sixers are playing again tomorrow night. The Flyers in Raleigh at 7, the Sixers at 8 in New York. You can watch the Sixers right here on NBC 10. Stateside Live is going to be hosting another big watch party
with the Philadelphia Flyers family, but we'll also feature the Sixers game as well.
People we met feeling pretty good about being a Philly sports fan right now.
Let's go Flyers! Everything right now is excitement. Let's not think negative. We got a long series with the Flyers. Sixers, same way. Let's go. Knicks are going down. We're going right to the finals, baby. Let's go.
Siobhan McGurl, NBC 10 News.
Wow.
Let's
But look at Philly. Look at your football team, your hockey team, your basketball, everything. I wish Washington is going on like y'all do.
Well, Washington,
we don't.
Washington, the Caps used to go on like that, and the Commanders used to go on like that.
When they were Redskins.
Yeah, and even your Washington Nationals were, they were pretty good at some point. So
no, I don't know if they've ever been any good, Stacey.
Well, I think teams and cities have seasons,
yeah, you're right, but I've never seen the Nationals win nothing.
But, I think the Flyers and the Sixers and the Phillies, well, no, more so the Flyers and the Sixers kind of got sick of the Eagles and the Phillies going to the playoffs, and they weren't. The last couple of years, the Eagles and the Phillies have gone to the playoffs, and the Sixers and the Flyers have not. So, I guess the team said, hey, we can't keep doing this. We're going to have to really fight. And, sometimes you got to fight for your right to party.
Well, for hockey, I like Avalanche and I like the Hurricanes. I just think they're the best teams. But the way Philly's playing, you just never know. You can't count anybody out that's in the playoffs right now. But I do like the Avalanche and the Hurricanes until somebody else can knock them off. But I was pulling for Wild, but it doesn't look too good for them. So we'll see what's going on.
And you know what's sad? The Flyers lost 2 games already to Carolina. They didn't have an answer to a particular play Carolina made on the first night. And I think sometimes it takes an adjustment for teams, and that's probably why they do series, because if someone could come in and just beat someone right away and not get adjusted to the way they play, it's not fair. So if you do series and they can make an adjustment and meet them competitively, then I think they have a better chance of evening out the series, if not beating them. And I think that may be the case for the Philadelphia Flyers against the Carolina Hurricanes. Hurricanes, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yep. The Hurricanes are so tough. They're so tough.
They are really tough, which is surprising. Are there any more sports that anyone wants to talk about?
I think that's pretty much it for me.
Cousin Todd, was there any sports that you want to talk about? We're concluding sports. Was there any sports you want to talk about?
Yeah. I wanted to talk about hopscotch. I think that should be in the Olympics.
I thought you'd be more into double Dutch.
Ma'am, he's not asking you.
Castro Todd.
All right, thank you. We'll go right into politics. We've completed our
Todd Castro.
Keith Satan.
Yeah, that's what Steven called me one time. So I guess, yeah, that's.
I didn't call you Satan.
Oh!
I said you were worshiping Satan.
Keith used me to get his boy toy back. That's what That's what Steven said about me one time. What?
Well, I don't even. Oh, Keith, I'm sorry. I didn't even know that was you. It's so dark. I can't tell who you are.
Oh Lord! Until he smiled, you can't miss that smile.
Until he smiled.
Well, I guess I'll get some more light later, Stacey. I don't. Yeah, the light you gave me is not working now, so that's all right.
Thank you.
Yellow tie. Back
CBN News. You've had a deep faith for God and country. At the end of the day, with all that you've been involved in,
keep going.
You've been extremely busy.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
As we all know, I got to ask you, what is your hope for America at a time such as this?
My hope for America?
And how do you personally deal with that?
Yeah, look, I mean, my hope for America is what it's always been. I think it's the hope I hope we all share. We want it to continue to be the place where anyone from anywhere can achieve anything, where you're not limited by the circumstances of your birth, by the color of your skin, by your ethnicity, but frankly, it's a place where you are able to overcome challenges and achieve your full potential. I think that should be the goal of every country in the world, frankly. But I think in the U.S., we're not perfect. Our history is not one of perfection, but it's still better than anybody else's history. And ours is a story of perpetual improvement. Each generation has left the next generation of Americans freer, more prosperous, safer, and that is our goal as well. But it is a unique and exceptional country. And as we come upon this 250-year anniversary, I think we have a lot to learn and be proud of in our history. It is one of perpetual and continuous improvement, where each generation has done its part to bring us closer to fulfilling the vision that the founders of this country had upon its founding. So thank you.
All right.
I
So
don't
that
know.
was Marco Rubio, who today said the war, Epic Fury, is now over. I haven't heard anything from President Trump, but Marco Rubio was on today and said Epic Fury is over because mainly, you know, Americans, and we'll have Keith respond first, then Cousin Todd, then Stephen. Americans are just that generous. Americans don't want the boats and ships that are stuck in the Strait of Hormuz to be stuck there without supplies and being able to move forward. So they're going to escort all of the boats stuck in the Strait of Hormuz out so that they're able to move on. Keith, this is what Secretary Rubio said. Your comments.
Well, based on what you
yeah,
just
go ahead,
played,
Keith. That's right.
Oh, just based on what you just played, I think I agree with him. You know, this is what we want: is we want an America that continues its legacy of its founding principles. Now, that doesn't mean that we've always lived up to those principles, because you know that by the people on this show. Some people on this show are contrary to those principles, and they disdain those principles, and they don't talk about those principles. So that gives you an idea of where we are as Americans, because some of us have it and some of us don't. Some of us believe and some of us do not. I guess that's what makes us America.
Okay, Cousin Todd.
Okay. Well, you were confusing with that clip because that clip had nothing to do with what you just asked. That clip was about what Marco Rubio thought of America, and he just made that up. He wasn't talking about the Straits of Hormuz or anything else. He said, what is your views on America? So, and he made up some lie about one generation bettering the next, and that's
Yeah,
not
you don't
true.
believe that though. So that's all. That's what I was saying. You don't believe that,
right? So
Right.
studies have shown that past generations have done better than this generation. They were able to buy homes,
Yep.
and start families. Not this generation.
Yeah,
They're making less money than they did when our parents was working. That's when there was a middle class. The middle class is being squeezed out now. Surprise.
Well, we're following contrary to our founding principles. That's what he's referring to.
I don't
That's
know what you mean. So are you saying you're right, Todd? This generation is not doing like Rubio just said. Every generation does better than the one before. That's
Right.
not true.
That's not true.
Yeah, I agree
Thank
with you on that. I agree with you.
Okay. So Marco Rubio just lied.
Oh,
so
well,
now,
that's probably what he hopes it to be. That's what I
well,
hope.
that's not what he said.
Okay.
He said each generation does better than the one before, and that's not what's happening now.
Yeah,
so
that's his view.
now, so that's that myth is dispelled. Now, about the war, they keep playing games here because Trump said he's going to get out of these forever wars in the Middle East. That's what he said. Then he promptly got into a war in the Middle East. But this is what a con artist he is. And this is what I was trying to tell you people. When he was first talking, he's a born liar. He will lie because politicians do that. Surprise! And he'll tell you anything you want to hear. And I can remember Aguna saying, you like him now because he's getting other people. He's not getting you yet. But when he turns on you, we'll see what you say then. Well, he's a good guy. He wants everybody to blah, 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 blah. And so he's not a good guy. He's never been a good guy. And he's showing you how quickly he can change his mind. And so What's happening now is he's spending billions of dollars on a war while he's taking your Medicaid. And it's not taking Medicaid from the illegals because the illegals never had Medicaid. He's taking them from you and people who need it. He's taking SNAP benefits, which I don't call SNAP, I call it food stamps. And food stamps are for poor children who don't have enough food to eat. He's taking food from children and asking for $200 billion for a made-up war. It is unbelievable. He has spent more money than any president in the history of America on this nonsensical war. So, this is my point.
No, not yet.
Yes.
George W. Bush.
No. Now, mind you, that war cost as Stacey said that war cost $100 million a day. And that war lasted for 20 years. This is $1 billion a day.
For 60 days. Right. Yeah, I guess the math is mathing on that way. Yeah. I mean, it was a terrible thing. And Donald Trump said, if you vote for Harris, you're going to get a war with Iran. And that's why we didn't vote for her, because Keith and I believed what he was saying, because he was looking a lot better than Harris. And Biden, his administration was horrible. They let so many people in this country. There was no reason for Keith or I or anybody else to vote for the Democrat Party, because they were atrocious. She was a horrible candidate. She had a horrible vice president. But for the man to say the war is over, it's just epic fury is over. They're going to have a new name coming up for it, because this war is far from over. And Iran is not going to give up. And they are a real opponent. Now, that's just why no president has ever gone after Iran. And Iran is the good guy right here. They're the good guy in all of this. They never attack people. They only defend themselves. That's all Iran does. We attack people. This is what this country, our founding fathers and our principles and all this that we talk about and we wanted, we're the ones who are terrorizing the world for 250 years almost. 250. Almost all of 250 years. Almost all of these years we've been at war. We've terrorized. We started Vietnam War on false pretense. We started North Korea. Iraq, Afghanistan. We started these wars, and we made enemies. We made enemies of Muslims, and that's not cool, Keith. They're not the bad guys. We were lied to that they were bad guys. Iran is not a bad. He said, "Oh, Trump will say these people are lunatics. They're crazy."
The way they just killed thousands and thousands
before the war.
Before the war. But you know why, Stacey? Because we armed these people that are against the regime there. We armed these people, and they were shooting cops and military. And the reason this number is not as high as you make it, it's like 3,000 total or 2,000 and something. It is a lie. Our government and our media lies to us. They weren't out there just indiscriminately shooting people protesting. They're not lunatics. They're not bad guys. That's a lie. I can prove it to you. I can prove it to you. That's a lie. We armed these people. It was an uprising that we wanted to take over Iran. And so we're going to have a fake uprising. Then we're going to take all their leadership out and insert our own leadership. And Keith, you can smile and turn your head like that all you want like this, but this is what we do. We go in there, we took a CIA, and we get everybody all screwed up. In every country, we've done this for decades. We go in there, and then we replace their leadership that is a democratically elected leader, and we insert our own puppet, Keith. That's what we do. And then we take everything they have. We take everything this country has for ourselves and Israel. And that's what we've been doing for decades.
So maybe Stephen is right in this, that Iran has called us the great Satan. Maybe you're right, Stephen. Maybe we're the great Satan, and they definitely want to annihilate us.
No, they don't want to annihilate us. They were leaving us alone, Keith. They didn't start the war. They were innocent. We cowardly started a war with them for Israel. We started a war for them, for Israel and for Epstein.
Well, why for 47 years they have harassed us and said they wanted.
They have not harassed us. They have defended themselves. We harassed them. We went to the Middle East saying that they had weapons of mass destruction, and we killed millions of innocent people, Keith. I know you think it's funny, but I don't think it's funny. And God is not smiling on you, my brother, because the God you worship, like I said before, is Satan. You're not with the actual God, man. God, what we went out there under false pretenses and killed millions of people that were innocent, Keith. And we want to kill these Iranians because they say they're lunatics and they're crazy. They're not, Keith. They were developing algebra. They were coming up with all kinds of things. When people in the other, they've been around 5,000-6,000 years. People in other countries, European countries, were in the dark. Keith, these are very smart people.
Africans, to be clear.
And for 47 years, we put sanctions on them. We starved them to death. But they're so smart that they built their own stuff organically. They made everything organically because they can't get anything because all the sanctions we put on them. This is what our country does. We put sanctions on people that are innocent. Iran is not a bad country. Everything you know, Keith, is a lie by your media and the government that you support.
You're going to have to take a breath. I wanted to ask you a question, but I'm not even going to ask it now because.
Oh, please ask me, and I won't even answer. I want to hear it. I'll make it two words, please.
Why are we changing the name of this war?
Because it's going to continue. He said the epic fury is over. Listen to him. Epic fury is over, but they're going to call it America First or something.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to have a new name.
Absolutely right. But the 60 days is up.
Yep.
So he has this quote unquote ceasefire. And so what is he going to do to get around Congress to get another 30 days?
He said that there was a ceasefire. So there was a ceasefire, so it doesn't count. That's his caveat to get out of it. But it's just more crap.
But he can ask for an extra 30 days legally.
Right.
And so how is he going to do that?
I don't know. I hope he does his taco thing again, like his Taco Tuesday today. And then he says, I'm going to annihilate them, which means he's going to use nukes. I'm just going to annihilate all of Iran, which is a beautiful country filled with beautiful people. But they want to annihilate them because they can't beat them. We cannot beat them in an actual fight. We can't beat them in a fair fight. And that's why we never wanted Iran to have a nuclear weapon because they can go in there and invade them and take their country over any time. That's why they did it.
You're calling these people beautiful now, but this isn't about face for you, because when I was telling you they were beautiful people all over the Middle East, you said
I know they are. I know they are, but we were
said to me, I am supporting a terrorist organization.
Because we were lied to. We were lied to. I was lied to, and Keith was lied to. Keith don't know he was lied to yet. He's still in love with that woman who's screwing around on him. I ain't with her no more.
Okay, thank you. Let me move on.
Oh boy.
I gotta move on. Please look at this.
The U.S. Supreme Court dealt a blow to the landmark Voting Rights Act on Wednesday after knocking out a major pillar of the law that had protected against racial discrimination in voting and representation. In the 6 decades since it was signed, the Voting Rights Act became one of the most consequential laws in the nation's history, preventing discrimination against minorities at the ballot box. It also helped elect Black and Hispanic representatives at all levels of government. But on Wednesday, the Supreme Court hollowed out the landmark civil rights era law by striking down a majority Black congressional district in Louisiana. That ruling could provide an open door for political mapmakers to undermine minority representation. The Voting Rights Act was signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson on August 6, 1965, 5 months after the Bloody Sunday attack on civil rights marchers in Selma, Alabama, gave momentum to the bill.
Wherever there is discrimination, this law will strike down all restrictions used to deny the people the right to vote.
In recent years, AP reporter Gary Fields sat down with some of the people who were pivotal to the birth of the act.
After having talked to these individuals and to a number of other people about why voting rights was so important, the reason for why they were so important then hasn't changed now. In a democracy or a republic, such as ourselves, the vote is the thing that you have that is the coin of the realm that allows you to say, I'm a full participant in this society, in this endeavor that we call the United States of America.
The question now is, what comes next for minority representatives and the communities they represent?
Okay, this will be our roundtable discussion. But my question, I'm going to start with Keith, then Stephen, then Cousin Todd. My question is, former President Barack Obama was Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
While he was president, Keith, he had a Democratic Senate majority. He had a Democratic U.S. House of Representatives majority.
And he's a Democrat who is president.
Democratic. I just said that. That's
Yeah, I just want him to get it. He doesn't, you know. And
So-
besides, I want you to look at this text I sent you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So therefore, my question is this, Keith. Why didn't President Obama at the time pass the Voting Rights Act into law and not make it an act that has to be voted on?
Oh, that's a great question.
Over and over again.
You're probably asking the wrong man, because I don't support Democrat policies. Maybe Todd can give us some insight on that. But
what do you mean? That's not a Democratic policy. Republicans supported that.
Well, okay, then, but the Democrats were in control, so they should have done it. That's what Stacey's asking. That's what she's at. Why didn't they do it?
Right.
They had the Democrat. They had the presidency. They had the Congress. They had the Senate.
Yeah.
All right, so I can't answer that, but I can say this: is that how could they really care about a Voter Rights Act when they don't really care about identifying who you are? In other words, identity as a voter ID. Let's put it that way. So
they've never had that in the history of America. That's something you're just making up. Because white people told you that.
Stephen, President Obama recently, or maybe it wasn't recently, well, in his presidency, he said he's probably president because of the Voting Rights Act, because disenfranchised people were able to vote, is what he's implying. He got so many votes because these people who normally may have been giving the
shut out
the how many marbles in a jar question no longer have that question, and they were able to vote for him. So since he knew that, and he stated that, and he had a Democratic House, a Democratic Senate, and he was a Democratic president, why didn't he pass that act into law?
What would have happened if he passed that act into law?
We wouldn't have the Supreme Court setting us back right now.
So why didn't he do it? I don't know. I don't know why he didn't do it. But my thing is, in this country right now in 2026, everybody can vote. There's nobody that can't vote. And to have an ID and because we have had 30 million people, or 20 million, or 10 million, I don't know what the number is. If you had so many people that are not real citizens, they shouldn't vote. I would love to do like I think they do in India or Bangladesh. They dip their finger in ink and that stays that way, or they dip it in. Yeah, just something like that. Maybe we don't have to have ID. Just make sure one vote for one person is the way it should be. And you know what? I want to get over it because I've been involved in politics since I was 18 years old. I want to get over it, but right now I don't even feel like voting. I don't even care about voting because what I voted for in this last presidential election was a completely opposite of what I got. So I might as well have voted for Harris. I might as well have voted for some breed of dog, maybe a Scottish Terrier. I mean, I didn't get anything that I wanted. I got a war. And that man said he would not start a war. He said, I would not start a war. Kamala Harris will start a war.
Stephen, you can't just keep going on and on. You just go from topic to topic.
Oh, no, it's not topic to topic. I'm saying we're talking about voting and voting rights. What I'm saying is I'm not even going to, I don't even think I'm at this point. If I was to vote tomorrow, I wouldn't vote. And I wouldn't even recommend anybody. They give us the illusion that we have a choice and that we have a mouth or that we don't have anything.
Hey, Keith, can you get him to stop talking?
They put who they want in office, I think.
Great. Go ahead, Cousin Todd.
Go ahead, Cousin Todd.
You just won't stop. You just get, I don't know if you can hear yourself or you're just so happy to be talking.
My lip sync moving.
this is what I was trying to. And I'm not asking you any more questions because I thought we could have a debate. Like because you like to go back and forth and debate.
Yeah.
I can't do that with you because you never shut up and let me ask you a question. Anyway, I'm moving on. Obama did not make it law because he was weak, which I said before about Obama. Obama was weak on a lot of things.
Wow.
I said this years ago. So, but
No, I've
you don't
never
pay
heard you say
attention.
anything negative
That's
about him.
because you're dumb and you don't listen. I have said what he was weak on was putting a moratorium on people losing their houses. I said that when he didn't do it. He was giving banks out. He was giving car manufacturers money. I said, well, wait a minute. Why doesn't he put a moratorium on people getting kicked out of their houses? He did not. So I said he was weak about that. I said he was weak when it came to health care. You just weren't paying attention. I said it should be a single payer, which I've said this, but you don't have a good memory.
You must have said it on another show. I got a great memory.
Okay, all right.
I remember him saying,
You
Steve,
don't.
I remember.
I know. I don't.
Of course you don't, Stephen.
He's full of beans.
So anyway, he was weak on a number of things, which has set us back. The healthcare, like I said, should have been a single payer, but he was trying to make friends with Republicans who will never make friends with him. But that's what he was trying to do, and it was a bad move, and it cost us. And so now you can have presidents like Trump saying he's cutting Obamacare and he's going to repeal and replace it. Remember he said that? And that was about 10 years ago.
That was a lie.
And he didn't have anything to replace it with. The Republicans did not then, and they still don't. But they want to kick you off of the Affordable Health Care Act, so you will have no insurance. And he wants to, because premiums have gone up. And he's cutting Medicaid by $24 billion. And he's cutting
That's right.
SNAP benefits, which is food stamps.
Right.
All the while he's asking for $200 billion for a war that he started.
Right. So they can pay for a war. Right.
And so this is the point. These people like you all did not believe how rotten and crazy he was. It's not going to affect me. He's just going to get those illegals. And this is what I said to you all. What does that have to do with you? Whether he gets the illegals out or not? That's not putting $1 in your pocket. Why are you so concerned about that? But he fed your minds full of this crap to give you an enemy to hate.
It keeps us safe.
And it keeps us safe. Okay. When's the last time you got raped by an illegal? Get out my face. So anyway,
they're not even getting rid of them. That was a lie too. They're not even getting rid of them, Keith.
So anyway, the bottom line.
The Republicans and the Democrats work together.
That's judges. Those are judges overturning everything. Everything he does.
It's all one big team, brother, and you ain't a part of it.
The Supreme Court has now gutted. They have gutted the Voting Rights Act, and it's making it difficult for people to vote. Now, in America, you never, in the history of America, you never had to go and buy an ID to show an ID. That's something white Republicans made up to trick you people into believing illegals are voting. Illegals are not
are you
voting.
speaking? Are you speaking?
That's another.
Are you
That's
just,
another lie that you people bought into, Stephen. So you'll have to learn that. Oh, that's a lie too. Now I don't know. Where you're
Every country has one person, one vote. That's all they're trying to do, man.
I don't know where you're going to get your information from, Stephen. But
stick your finger in ink.
This country has always been one vote, one person. And so all of a sudden it's a problem because Trump told you it's a problem.
I don't
Trump
think you're
said that. He lied.
It was going on before Trump.
He lied to you. There is no problem with voter fraud, and they can count them. You can count how many voter fraud cases there were. So that's a myth. And
He
any
talks about me
lawyer
needing
or
to take a breath.
or judge will tell you that. You're getting your information, Stephen, from the same place you got it before when you said Trump is a great guy and I believe him and he's out for the good guys. And if you're not for Trump and if you're not for America and you're not for the Jews, then you should be shot, hung, and tarred and feathered.
It's because you
You're
have
getting
such
your
a small,
information from the wrong
you're such a
people
small
again.
little person that you have to bring that up every time. You're a
Stephen,
small little person.
Stephen, I'm telling you,
You're not. You
still
don't seem like
thinking
a
wrong.
dumb. What is it about
my
you that you're
God.
trying to make up for? There's something about you
telling you,
that you're
Stephen,
trying to make
going
up for.
back there,
There's something
thinking-
wrong with you.
You're thinking
There's something wrong with
dumbly
you.
again when you say
How many
there's voter
states
fraud
require
going
voter
on.
ID
There isn't.
during the
That
founding?
was made up, and you fell for it again, Stephen.
Can you vote, Todd? Are you allowed to vote? Are you suppressed? Do you know anybody that's suppressed, Todd? No, you don't. You're just making up garbage. You're just biatching about nothing. There's nothing to cry about. You can vote, I can vote, but neither one of our votes really matter. And if Harris was a president, Keith and I would be kicking your rear end every day because she sucks as a human being. And Donald Trump sucks in another way. And that guy, what is it, Walsh or whatever from Minnesota, he's horrible. Horrible. And you don't have anything, the left doesn't have anything positive for this country at all. See, they're going to do better than Trump? No, they're all controlled. All of our politicians are controlled by one country, and they're all going to do what that country wants. But Donald Trump was the only president who ever invaded Iran. When all the other presidents were bought and paid for, they didn't do it. But they got more than bought and paid for by Donald Trump. They got him doing stuff that will curl your beard.
Okay,
They got stuff on him that will mess your head up because I've been to see that stuff. You can't unsee it and you'll have nightmares. Don't anybody go in and look at it. Believe me when I tell you. What Donald Trump and a lot of his
Thank you. You got to stop talking, Stephen. I keep saying thank you. You got to stop talking.
You didn't say that to Todd. He went on for 17 minutes. I got it right here.
Got some nerve.
17 minutes. I got it right here.
Gosh.
I got it right here.
Stephen,
I recorded it. I recorded it.
Oh, good. That's a good job. So we're out of time.
You recorded it because you're a small person. You're small.
You're a little tiny man trying to be a real man in the real world. You wouldn't bring it up, man. You're trying to compensate for something you ain't got.
Those opinions were those of Stephen's, not of the show Sporlitiks. Stephen is speaking.
They're not my opinions, they're my facts.
To our first responders in our communities, you make our lives livable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To our women and men of the U.S. military out there sacrificing your lives so that we can say whatever we choose to on this show, we are forever indebted. On behalf of Aguna, who didn't make it tonight, we were just talking about that. Stephen.
What, Aguna?
Yeah, the independent thinker. Keith, the constitutional conservative. And my cousin Todd. I'm Stacey Johnson. Let's keep this conversation going on Facebook, X, Instagram, Stephanie Stallworth's The Flow Television Network. Check us out on Twitch. Check us out on TikTok at Sporlitiks.com. That's our name, Sporlitiks.com on TikTok. And like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sporlitiks. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have been on the air, Sporlitiks, where sports and politics mix and mingle since 2011 with current, constant political news and sports only. I believe we're the longest running podcast to deliver that type of information to everyone. So on behalf of the entire, all the contributors, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Thanks.
We finally got out on time. This is just unbelievable that
Well, actually, we're 5 minutes early. So I wanted to, did you see that text I sent you? I would like for you to show it.
Let me see if I can show it.
If you can find it on the internet. But Donald Trump posted this picture. Did you see it?
Yeah.
He was like Jesus. Was he Jesus? Is that the one?
No. He was in a pool. He was in a pool with a bathing suit on, thin as a rail. So anyway, I wanted to talk about what's the war guy?
Oh no, here it is.
Hegseth.
I'll play it now, Todd. I don't think this has any sound.
Hegseth.
Yeah.
The war guy.
I'm going to play something else. Wait a minute. Reflecting pool.
Oh yeah, I saw that. With about 4 other people. I think Pete's in that one. And eventually I get it.
He's such a weirdo. He's such a con artist.
I've been there.
I don't know where this is going, but
Well, it showed that it started off showing it first. Let me see if I can scrub through really quickly and see if it gets to the photo. But it started showing that photo. That was the meme, but it wasn't there, so I don't know.
What's the big deal about the photo?
I've seen it. They're in their new blue pool.
Here it is. Let me see if I can share this.
What's the big deal about the photo?
I don't know, Todd.
It is disrespectful.
Wow.
It is. Do you see that?
What's wrong with that?
Well, he's got all of his boy toys in the pool, and he's got a fake body. That's not his body. Do you think his body looks like that with no clothes on?
Never thought about it before, Todd, but I see you have.
Who cares?
Yeah,
Todd,
really.
Why would you be in a reflecting pool? You are the president of the Stacy. How dare you go dumb and blind on me? This is outrageous. You sound just like Stephen and Keith. Who cares? What difference does it make? They're just having a splash party.
Viral AI image.
I can't deal with it.
It's just AI goofiness, man.
It's not. And this is how low you've become because of Trump.
It is AI. They didn't all get in this pool,
Oh
man.
my gosh, Stephen,
Thank you,
Stephen.
Stephen's right about that.
9 o'clock. I'm going.
This is unbecoming of the president to do this. Now,
Hey, Todd,
I was going to
Todd,
talk about.
Todd,
I was going to
look
talk
at
about.
look at the lady's arm, her left arm. Look how it's
I was
resting
go-
on. It looks like she's resting on something.
Okay,
something
I don't care.
Yeah,
about
he's
that arm.
easily fooled. He's easily fooled. We know that. We've known this guy for a dozen years, man.
Oh, yeah.
So now this is the point. I was going to talk about Hegseth and how Pete Hegseth.
I love him.
He loves to change the name and make up names. So he's changing the name to Warmongers or whatever he's changing it to. And people like Keith is not a true Republican because the first thing a Republican would say is, how much is that going to cost?
Right.
He's not a Republican. He doesn't care how much it costs.
He doesn't care if we go to war. How can you care? How can you not care?
Can you tell me how much it costs, Keith, to change the name? Of course not. If I told you,
was it 500 million? Over 500 million.
No, it does not. If I told you it costs 5 million, would you say that's too much money to waste for taxpayers' money?
I thought it was 500.
If I said 10 million, you would say too much money? What about
Maybe 50
20
million?
It's $52 million.
Oh yeah,
That's
52
a
million.
waste to change a name.
Right. I knew it was a 5 in there
Which is only
somewhere.
going to be changed back in 3 years.
You mean when there's a new administration?
Yeah, they went after Doge. Went after all the waste. Doge went after waste, but they let this happen.
Hey, thank you for out of time. Good night.
I don't know what he's saying. Wait a minute. What did he say?
I said, who does that money go to? 50 million. What is that going to? I mean, where does that go?
It goes to change the name. It costs money to do these things. Now, what did you say, Stephen?
No, but
Well, that's tax. It's taxpayer money, is what it is.
Right.
That's what the problem is. So we have. When we had Doge, remember Doge? They were cutting all these people's jobs because of the waste. This is a waste, Keith. They should call it the Department of Defense. They wanted to call it Department of War because Donald Trump and Pete, they planned on this war with Iran for a long time. That's why they changed it to the Department of War.
Yeah, but you don't have anything to put
I
on
just
TikTok,
wanted to
so
know,
that's why I was doing this.
Why does it cost 50 million? Have you ever tried to figure that out? I mean,
They have to change everything. Everything needs to be changed. Every